The country is reacting tonight after a draft Supreme Court opinion that would overturn Roe versus Wade was leaked. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Deborah Kendrick.
And I'm Lucas Geisler. The decision would overturn the 1973 case and allow states to make their own laws regarding abortion. We have team coverage tonight from Jefferson City.
ABC 17's Hannah Falcon and Layla Mitchell have both been speaking with lawmakers and those who had a part in current laws and proposals. Now, we're going to give you a live look right now in downtown Columbia, where a group of protesters have gathered in reaction to the Supreme Court draft opinion. This is just outside of the Boone County Courthouse. Now, the people there, Lucas, are in support of abortion rights.
In a news release, the We Project and Como for Progress say they're gathering to voice concerns and defend abortion rights as human rights.
And of course, we're seeing a lot of those types of protests really all across the country today. First, we're going to go out to our field crews who are in Jefferson City tonight.
ABC 17's Hannah Falcon's been speaking with lawmakers and activists about Missouri's current abortion laws. Hannah, Missouri's one of 13 states with a so-called trigger law in place.
Deb, Lucas, I spoke with Representative Nick Schroer, who sponsored Missouri's trigger law back in 2019 when it was enacted. And this law would essentially would make abortion illegal in Missouri if Roe v. Wade were to be overturned, except in the case of medical emergencies.
I had pre-filed the heartbeat bill that would just strictly prohibit any abortions after 8 weeks or when the child's heartbeat is detected. And we kind of came together and laid out a game plan of what we were going to do to amend this to make this the strongest bill to protect life from womb to tomb.
Representative Nick Schroer's 2019 abortion bill passed with wide help and support from his Republican colleagues. Part of his law is a trigger law that would ban abortions in Missouri across the board if Roe v. Wade is overturned.
We already have a law in place that says, all right, we're not going to basically mirror Roe v. Wade. We're going to take abortion from the ground up. We're going to say that it is illegal.
That means Missourians will be forced to continue forced in greater numbers to do what they're doing today, which is flee our state in order to get access to critical care.
Mallory Schwartz with Pro-Choice Missouri tells me she'll continue to fight for access to abortion regardless of the ruling.
Abortion in Missouri has been largely inaccessible for years. So we have already been in a post-Roe world here in Missouri. And now the rest of the nation is facing what we face every day.
Two parts of Schroer's law are still tied up in the courts. One part would make abortions illegal after 8 weeks of pregnancy, and the other part would make abortions illegal if they are being performed based on the sex, race, or Down syndrome diagnosis. Schroer tells me he expects the appeals court to make a decision on those cases after the SCOTUS ruling is official. Reporting live from the state capitol, I'm Hannah Falcon, ABC 17 News.
All right, Hannah, thank you. While that bill is tied up in court, abortion is legal in Missouri up to 22 weeks of pregnancy. The state reports that more than 3,000 Missouri residents got an abortion in 2020.